Alright, chat. I feel like it's been ages since I've played Magic the Gathering. Shout out to Wizards of the Coast for 2 weeks later, finally ensuring that we can play a format that's not a lame duck constructed format on their Premier Play client. Never mind the fact that Magic the Gathering Online got the updates 2 days ago. We're going to kick off today with some Grixis Dredge. Oh, I forgot to tweet. I should tweet. It's been a while, chat. I'm not used to this. Forgotten how to do my job. Alright, so what in the heck? Hey, Jay Baron, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome to Oaklandia. What in the heck does Dredge mean? So Dredge, for those newer to Magic or not familiar, refers to a mechanic that puts cards from the top of your deck into your discard pile. And Dredge decks are generally decks that generate value when flipping cards into their graveyard. So for example, in this deck, we have Narcomoeba and Creeping Chill, which have an effect when we flip them from our graveyard or from our deck directly into the bin. And then we have cards like Merfolk Secretkeeper, Stitcher Supplier, Lazav, and Mire Triton that allow us to flip cards off the top of our deck into our discard pile. We're still playing Lurrus. I honestly expect Lurrus to probably still be playable, even though it effectively costs 6 mana now with the update. Obviously, it's going to be worse than it was previously, but this card's a value card for the longer... This card's a value card for longer games, and in longer games, you're probably going to be able to have time to pay 6 mana to get it going. So these cards are notably worse against aggro, and they're worse in aggro decks. The companion update effectively bans aggressive companions in a way. But mid-range and control decks, I think you'll still see a reasonable amount of Lurrus. I think Yorian's still very playable. So let's go ahead and pop on into the historic queue here with this one and see how it goes. Fisherman's Enemy, thanks to 11 months. That's sure too, Wannabe Beetle. I think that's a good observation. Paying 3 twice is technically less than having to pay 6 all at once. Had to spend some time away, doing to now being a home teacher. Yep, feel you there. Dropping in to redistribute the wealth, and Black Lives definitely matter. Thanks for the 11 months, Fisherman's Enemy. You're in good company here. Make sure you send your Bezo buck somewhere every month, chat. If you have Amazon Prime, make sure you use it. Think of it as giving $3 from Jeff Bezos to someone here on Twitch. Is this a bronze icon or a gold icon? Does anybody know? Okay, apparently they don't want to play against someone in Platinum. That's fair. I feel you. Not offhand, Defender of Cats. I don't think so. I'm not sure what you're speaking to specifically, so I'm gonna say no. It's been a long time since I've tuned in. How have you been? And do we play Historic all the time now? Yeah, unless Standard does a 180 that I don't predict it doing after these bans. This is gonna be a Historic and Rune Terror stream moving forward. Primarily Magic. Magic's my bread and butter, but even with the client updated, I still plan to sprinkle in some Rune Terror. I've really enjoyed that as a game. Am I supposed to mulligan this? Like, Narcomoeba and Creeping Chill in the opener kind of sucks. It's somewhat appealing because I have all of my colors and I have Stitcher Supplier on one, but I think I'm supposed to play catch and release here. Can I get the 7 back? Have I tried Rogue Energy? I have not. I don't really drink energy drinks in general. Like, occasionally I have soda or sweet tea, but never really been an energy person of any kind. Rogue Energy does also do, they make a sports drink mix that they're supposed to be sending me some of at some point. So when they do that, I can comment on that, but not energy drink person myself. And an N, thanks for the 25 months. Like, I don't even drink coffee. What zone is Lurrus in right now? The companion zone? Is this the friend zone? Is there a link to the restream or the announcement? Anybody know? Yeah, you can always click on past videos and watch the start of this stream from the beginning. So we've got 6 cards in the bin already. Although worth noting, we don't really want to escape this while Ratchet Bomb is out. Alright, Lightning Helix you back. So, next turn, we're probably just doing this, right? Paying 3 for your companion is a special action that does not use the stack. So as you saw there, my land's tapped, and this just moved to my hand. You can only activate it anytime you'd activate a sorcery, but your opponent cannot respond to you putting it into your hand. Yep, it does. It makes it more interactable, right? Means they get a chance to do that right there. You can always find my thoughts on ban list changes by typing !bans in my chat after they happen. Perfect. Always try and do my best to make information accessible that's relevant, that people want. For example, if you're ever curious what rank I am in whatever game we're playing, you can type !rank in chat. Always try and keep that up to date.
Sorry I'm late. This might be a bad idea. This is hardly my worst defeat.
Alright. Start Kroxaing them now. Sounds great. Have ever had anxiety while playing Magic? Maybe while in high pressure situations, but outside of like playing win-ins for top 8s at large tournaments, no, not really. I think if you're experiencing anxiety while playing Magic, I would encourage you to play Magic in a different way. There's lots of different ways to play Magic as a game. It's a rule set that allows for a wide variety of things to enjoy. and I would definitely encourage people to find a way to enjoy it in the way that works best for them. Dreamdecker, thanks for playing as per humans. Noted. Let's get that updated. My normal pattern of doing things is just completely disrupted because, well, you know. Alright, what am I doing here? I don't know that I really even want to Seeing Stroke against them. This might just be click submit against a controlled deck. Maybe possible that I would like Soul Lantern Guide to cantrip over Creeping Chill, but even that doesn't seem very good. Closet Pan, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. Misk Bits, thank you for the really generous tier 3 sub. I appreciate the 1.5 years. Welcome back. You're having a good one wherever you're at. Is the new mini-human up and well? No, if Haley was here, I wouldn't be streaming right now. I'm going to be taking a week off when Haley comes. Yeah, that seems super reasonable. Maybe I'm supposed to bottom this and keep the 2/1 that can attack. Let's see that. Perfect. Get to play Lazav on 2 and copy Kroxa on 3. You want Ratchet Bomb for a Cage or Leyline? That's probably a good idea. Just like preemptively bring in some Ratchet Bombs. I don't hate that. Yeah, that's a fair assessment, Beetle. Different people have different situations too. Yeah, it's actually a great question. So, if you enjoy my content and want to support me even while I take a short amount of time off, and you're a Prime sub, you are able to Prime sub to a streamer regardless of if they're online or not. So, when I do at some point take a week or so off, and you want to help me have a little bit of not unpaid paternity leave, but paid paternity leave, you can pull up my channel on Twitch and drop that off. Especially appreciate anybody who's watching this on YouTube right now, and your schedule doesn't line up with mine, you stop by and drop off your Prime when I'm offline. Ryumi, speaking of Prime, thanks for the 2 months. Welcome back. Companion changes are live. Suspensions are live. Ban list, ban changes are live in Standard. Pretty easy mulligan here. Hands with Narcomoeba and Creeping Chill in the opener need to be pretty exceptional with the rest of the cards. These are just okay, so we're going to mulligan this. Want those in our deck to draw. London Mulligan is great with these cards. You just get to mulligan them away. I can't get attention if I subscribe when you're offline. That's actually not true. And that's actually a good thing to point out as well. If you sub while I'm offline, it lets you hold the notification until the next time you show up and I'm live. So if you are a normal human who craves attention, you can sub and support even when I'm offline, and the next time it lines up for you, you still get a notification pop up. Twitch is very smart about how they set that up. It's like a Gates deck on the other side here. In many respects, the United States is a third world country. That's part of why there's lots of protests going on right now. Is your restream going to be on YouTube? No. Any suggestions for reasonable budget deck in Historic? I don't really know what Magic cards cost. I'd recommend checking out the recommendations on my website, but I don't really know offhand which of them are budget or not. maybe the mono white deck, but I honestly don't know the number of mythics in that deck offhand. Definitely in for a 4th land. Have I been to any protests or marches? No, my wife is 37 and a half weeks pregnant. I'm lucky I'm able to work a little bit, much less go to a protest. Also, COVID's still going on right now, in case anybody's forgotten that. So while definitely support everything that's going on right now, you also need to take precautions if you're someone that's in a high-risk category for COVID, or you're someone that interacts with people regularly, like my pregnant wife, who are in a high-risk category for COVID. Fight for what's right, but be responsible while you do it, please. This still keeps its name. So if I play this other one, one of them will die. So we'll play Fiend Artisan here. I mean, in a way, these protests are going to put to the fire and see, like, were the scientists correct? Like, two weeks from now, we could have a bunch of resurgences in a lot of places, and if not, you know, maybe we're okay for a little bit. It does mean you can escape the other Kroxa. You can have Lazav copying something and a Kroxa in play at the same time, because they're both, they have different names, even if they're both legendary. I think we're probably dead at this point. Feels like they've solidly stabilized. They're going to get to escape Uro next turn. They're honestly pretty close to winning with Maze's Head, too. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gates. They could activate this. Needs some Massacre Worm, right? Does Maze have an animation? No, basically none of the alternative win condition cards in this application have animations. It's real dumb. Yes, Massacre Worm will be a great anti-field card. That's lethal, right? This puts the 10th one into play? Yeah. Yeah, it's criminal. Especially, like, having played Runeterra a bunch for the last week, like, every one of their alt wincon cards has an animation in it that are just fantastic. Like, it really shows that Riot really gets those little details while WotC falls short on them. Like, Arena's night and day better than what MTGO was, but it's still pretty far off of what an actual video game company produces. I think we want Ratchet Bombs to clean out zombie tokens so we can punch through. I want Soul Guide Lantern here to fight with the Uros a little bit. This also cantrips, so we have Lurrus out, so it's a pretty low cost to include. Jeff, you indirectly told me not to be cheap when buying my new office chair. My bum and disposition thanks you. God bless. I think I mulligan this. It's got a lot of lands in it. It doesn't have any enablers to flip cards into our bin. Oh, double Steam Vents Fiend Artisan. I guess I'm keeping, because Soul Guide Lantern can cantrip, but obviously really need to draw a black source here. Yeah, I agree, Unox. Big agree. This is probably going to be a game where we just can trip this, looking to try and hit our lands and our colors as soon as possible. Wow, I have to exile a card from a graveyard with this. That's awkward. Do you have any recommendations for chairs? No, none specifically. Rough. Morning, Rebecca. Yeah, hopefully, I really hope who's ever in charge of social media at Wizards of the Coast took note of how many Magic streamers were ending early or upset and commenting that they were streaming other games because the formats were just lame ducks all week. And I really hope they work to ensure that that never happens again. It's completely unacceptable, in my opinion, that they took a week to announce their changes and then took another 5 days after they finally announced them. Like, there's no reason other than a lack of being prepared that we didn't have an arena patch on Tuesday. They announced that changes were coming a week out. The people that were making those changes should have started working with the arena team when they announced that changes were coming, what those changes were going to be, and the arena team should have been ready to roll a patch out by Tuesday. Yeah, I would be very surprised if it wasn't just an issue with lack of communication issues. If you read the Glassdoor reviews of Wizards of the Coast, a lot of the comments there from employees comment on how there's not very good communication between departments. Alright, so Fiend Artisan can start loading and start turning this into something useful, but this is just like sitting here waiting to... This is just sitting here waiting to pop, which means I just don't have a lot of pressure here. I think I'm going to go ahead and attack with Lazav here. And then I'm going to use Fiend Artisan to turn Merfolk Secretkeeper into a Stitcher Supplier. With the goal being, I want to force them to break the Soul Guide Lantern. So we'll play this other Fiend Artisan out, which should give us enough pressure in play that they need to sweep. My opponent doesn't currently have a graveyard, so recasting Soul Guide exiles my graveyard, and Lurrus costs 6 mana, remember? I have to pay 3 and 3. I think it makes sense to have the opponent see what cards you hover over. No, I actually think that's an incredibly frustrating feature that I have to choose between giving information up and being a bad streamer. Really, really dislike that arena shows when I mouse over cards, because it's generally helpful as a content producer to show the audience cards when I'm talking about them. So I give away information. I shouldn't have to think about what I'm clicking and where for fear of giving up value. I think it is incredibly stupid that the client shows my opponent what I'm looking at. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm supposed to turn this into a 2-1 there. I feel like that was a feature they added because they wanted the digital to feel more like paper, but like as someone who like has played a lot of paper Magic and like leaves their graveyard fanned out while playing paper Magic to not let my opponent know I just drew a Snapcaster Mage, stuff like that, like it's not a feature of paper I like seeing mirrored here. Hopefully we draw an untapped land. If we do, perfect. So now I get to Fiend Artisan, sacrifice this, go get Kroxa, and then I can Lazav turn it into Kroxa, which is great. Disagree, Silence. I think that player interaction, again, for the reason I just stated, you are making, that is an extra thing. When you play paper Magic, if you are playing optimally, you have to take extra steps to not give up information when you're playing. And Arena should do things like that automatically instead of making my life harder. Arena mousing, showing what you mouse over, makes it harder to play Magic optimally while playing Magic Arena for basically no value. The only value is that it makes it feel slightly more like paper Magic by adding a feature that's crappy. Femi! Listen, Femi, I'd recommend cutting the Leet Speak out. It's 2020, it's not 2012. I think we're happy with how we sideboarded. Maybe I don't want this card. Maybe I want these Disdainful Stroke here. Although I guess they only showed me Golos. Oh, this kills Golos. That's kind of funny. I'm going to put 2 Cratermakers in. And you right-click on a card to show you its highlights. As soon as your mouse moves over a card, it shows it highlighted. Would I like to see text chat in Arena? No. I do not feel the need to allow my opponent to type obscenities at me after they finish a match of Magic in which they got unlucky. There are plenty of places you can go on the internet where random people hiding behind screen names can type unfiltered profanity at you. I don't need that as a feature in Magic Arena. It could have positives as well. Nope. Positives don't outweigh the negative. There's also plenty of places online where I can go if I'm seeking social interaction. I don't think Arena needs to enable that specifically. Join a Magic Discord community where you can make friends and talk to other people. Ideally a Magic Discord community that's moderated. Which, if you're in chat and you're not in the subs Discord, I'd encourage you to join. Alright, who's got 2 thumbs and is ready to have his gates set ablaze? This guy right here. Every game that has text chat has slowly removed it because it often becomes rancid. Yep. Would you mind watching splitting boards like in your chair where you can customize your playmat? Yeah, I think that would be fine. Some manner of being able to customize your game board would be ideal. The fact that game boards are completely uncustomizable is a big failed monetization on Wizards' part. Do I want another Fiend Artisan? I think the answer is yes. What? Stitcher Supplier is evolving. Maybe I'm supposed to leave that in the bin so my things don't die to Gates Ablaze. Okay. Ready to turn Golos into a crater, chat? Bye, Felicia. And then next turn, we can have Ratchet Bomb to cut through their zombies. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 differently named gates at the moment. Tap out for me, baby. Tap out for me, baby. You love to see it, chat. Ratchet Bomb. This kills tokens. Excellent addition to the format. Hey, this game is playable now. It is. Indubitably. Moving on up the ladder. We've not hit Winota yet, no. Yeah, by the way, can we get a shout out to the Arena team that patched the client today and it's still defaulting to bot matches after we finish a game? Shout outs to that bug still being there. Sparky's lonely. It's a Sparky attention feature, Jeff. Why you have to be so mean? Sparky needs love too. Yes, youngest son. Hey, whoa, you gotta pause your show when you come in here, dude. Thank you. What? Did you ask your mom? Oh, why'd you come down here and ask me? You can have some chocolate butter cereal. Yeah. Close the door. For those of you that are new here, Declan never closes the door. Huh? So, do I want to activate this, or do I want to start beating them down? I have another one, so I kind of think I just want to go, like, Triton here and smack them. Seems pretty good. I timed you out because your opinion was contrary and silly. It was equivalent of old man yelling at clouds. If the only reason you can think of something is good is this is like how we always did it and it helps things be like they've always been, in my opinion, that's not ever a worthwhile reason to say something. So Arena mousing over showing where you mouse over the game board is good because it makes it feel like Paper Magic. Well, Paper Magic is from 1993, and things that improve upon that we'd call progress. So it makes it feel like it's always felt is never a good reason, in my opinion, to justify something. I'm almost certainly biased in my opinion of the mouse over because as someone who streams, the mouse over explicitly makes my job either... The mousing over cards either forces me to be worse at my job or it puts me at a strategical disadvantage. And as a content producer, I shouldn't be forced to choose between those two things. To be fair, though, to Niv, I believe in Runeterra, you can turn off the ability, you could turn off that feature that, I'm pretty sure you could turn off the Runeterra feature where you could turn off the ability to confirm your spells, which means they just go on the stack. What do I mean by mousing over? I mean, when I put my mouse over this card, it highlights on my opponent's screen what I'm looking at. When you highlight a card on your screen, it shows that on your opponent's screen. I think I'm just gonna grab Lazav here. Well, there's kind of merit to grabbing the Fiend Artisan. I'm just gonna grab another one of these. The old Agonizing Remorse in your waste dot deck. Instead of me telling you you're wrong, tell me why you're right. If you want to suggest a different line than what I took, don't ask me to justify my line to you. Instead, justify your line to me. Get another Tarmogoyf here. It is a touch awkward that Kroxa escaping fights with Fiend Artisan a bit, but I also have a lot of non-creatures in here, right? Hey, Almighty Bob. I believe you can right-click on a card to zoom in without having it hover and leak info. How? The people, that's the second person that's recommended that. How do I right-click on a card without mousing over it, chat? Can someone please explain that to me? I didn't address it the first time because it was just so incredibly stupid. But how do I right-click on a card without mousing over it? Come on, chat. It doesn't show you mouse over it if you right-click on the card. How do I do that? Please explain. It is a very chat thing to say. Big agree. Well, that brick walls us. That's unfortunate, because it means that we have to discard Lurrus now. The secret APM technique, right? Sick. Dusty Armadillo, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yep. Laz is going to copy Lurrus here. Assuming it doesn't die. It could very well die here. You can click fast as opposed to hovering for a while. That's actually just not true. It literally highlights as soon as you put your mouse over it. You've never seen your opponent rapidly scroll across the board? So it definitely shows that when people are mousing around. You need a dexterity stat of at least 47. God bless. I'm going to copy Stitcher Supplier here so I get to mill 3 when this dies. Almost to a point where we can just attack all here. Laziv's gonna get to copy Kroxa next turn. Then I think we can kill them through this Obliterator. Thanks everybody for hanging out today, by the way. Good to see 1,500 people in here. I'm planning to maintain something of a normal schedule until Haley gets here, but that could be any day at this point, realistically, so don't know how long that will be for. They draw... They made themselves discard a card? Deal. Unfortunate that we drew that and then milled 3 things that don't do anything. Yeah, I must have drawn another Obliterator here. Okay. Who's excited to play this game on mobile, chat? Who's excited for Magic Arena on mobile? Oh, they're just dead, right? Yeah, they're actually just dead. Lazav will copy Kroxa, and then the Kroxa triggers will kill them. Because again, Lazav keeps his name when he copies something. Yep, a couple of ways to eat that Rhesus there. This deck's been super reasonable. Has a relatively cohesive game plan. Good example, that game there, of Lurrus being reasonable in a grindy mid-range matchup, even though it costs 3 more mana. Hey, Ty Glorious, thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. I'm only getting this. 5 lands is a lot. How did R&D miss the boat on Companions so hard? I would argue that they were incredibly close to getting Companions right. If you look at most of the Companions, even under the old rule, most of them were fine. Is there any info from Watsu at MTG Arena for OSX? Not that I'm aware of. They fixed the snapping arrows. You know, I haven't been paying attention. So is Arena going to be on mobile? A random Hasbro executive promised to bring Arena to mobile. So basically it's a coin flip. Whether or not that's going to be true could go either way. It's our first Winota matchup. This hand does not look like we're about to be particularly competitive. You get to board in a bunch of removal spells post-board. Trim this here because we're not interested in grinding. We just want to run them down. I don't think this is a Disdainful Stroke matchup. Actually, this blocking Vanguard's probably fine. Trigger Creeping Chill. think I have to mulligan this because of the mana. Steam Vents and Fiend Artisan just do not get along. No untapped blue feels bad, man. I mean, we've mulliganed a lot with this hand because the openers have been awkward, but we've also won a lot of games on 5 and 6 cards, so I think that probably just comes with the territory. Traditionally speaking, Dredge decks tend to mulligan well, and I feel like that's holding true here pretty well so far. To try to be luckier and draw less of our Dredge payoffs. I think that's a strong suggestion. I'll take it into consideration. Okay, so plenty of cards in the bin here to escape Kroxa next turn. The question is, will that be quick enough? Because I don't have any removal for Winota this game. And they're very likely to Winota us next turn. Since they have Fauna Shaman, they just need a land. Yep, Vanguard is easily their best draw here. Lets them deploy a threat that triggers Winota and activate Fauna Shaman to find Winota. Finding Winota in advance is a little bit loose because I could be playing discard spells in my deck. So probably a small mistake there on their part. Leave the creature in here so it can get recast by this down the line. Also helps future Fiend Artisan draws. So even if they go untapped land attack with both of these, depending on how they roll here, we could still be okay with the Kroxa on the backswing. And get to eat Fauna Shaman and make them pay life for Adonto Vanguard. Survey says... Yeah, like if they pay 4 for Vanguard here, they have to chump with Winota next turn, right? Okay, so now they have to have a spell in hand. Are they dead? Because they have to have 2 spells in hand, right? Yep, just conceding. There's 5 cards in my bin. Opponent got to do their thing. We got to do our thing. We were on the play, so we beat them. On the draw, it's going to be a bit more important that we see a Redcap Melee. I wonder if this deck wants... Maybe these strokes should be Agonizing Remorses. I think it's very possible. Maybe we'll make that swap. If I had Agonizing Remorse on my board, I think I'd bring it in this matchup. Mana's a little bit awkward, but double Redcap Melee is a hard one to pass up. Yeah, the Creeping Shell helping us race was a big deal there. Agree. Looking for some lands. Not bad. I'm going to trade with this Goblin token with my Citrus Supplier here. Love to see it. Perfect. Fortunate. I did see Containment Priest was in 2021. I think that'll be a great addition to Historic. Be a good addition probably to Pioneer and Modern too, honestly. Sick. You love to see it. My Redcap on your turn as opposed to on their turn because I didn't want them to block my Mire Triton. Wanted to hit them for 2 points of damage. Cactus is very unlucky. Well, I mean, my opponent should practice flipping coins some more then. Great, this is a human, so Winota doesn't trigger it. We get to trade with Mire Triton here. Actually, they're dead, right? We just red cap this. They have to block here. They take 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, go to 12. Seems good. Again, just like the Winota deck is difficult to race. If your deck's not capable of racing the Winota deck, load up on some interaction. It's also key, though, that you can't just have interaction in your deck. You'll note in both of those games that we won, we were also equipped with a very quick clock. It is key that you can't just disrupt, you also have to kill them while you're disrupting. And in fact, I think I want a little bit more disruption for that matchup. I think trading Stroke, which I don't want there, for some Agonizing Remorse would be good. I also think Containment Priest being printed is a good reason to leave Winota legal. That'll be another card that's very good against Winota. Yeah, someone was asking, like, why didn't I allow Mire Triton to trade with their first Winota, and why did I red cap it proactively? Because I didn't want them to trade. I wanted my Mire Triton to be able to run them down. Yeah, look at that. What's a keepable 7, chat? It's weird. Oh, you know what? I should have Secretkeeper on 1, right? I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm going to Fiend Artisan on 2. How does the companion change feel? Fine. We've used our companion in one of the matches so far, I think. Whitstone, thanks for 13 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So, pretty sure we're just finding another Fiend Artisan here. Although I could find... Laz here. I'm just going to get another Fiend Artisan. They can't sweep me yet. Get to attack for like 10 next turn, potentially. They could have like a piece of spot removal here, but 10 power on turn 3 is not bad. Tombbound Lich. Interesting. Yeah, they're in a Burial Rites deck, okay. You put a fatty in here yet? They have an Ulamog in there. Yikes. Just mill 4 creatures and kill them, something like that. Ulamog is worse than Agent here. It is worth noting. I think I'm just attacking for 10 and then playing Call of the Death Dweller post-combat. When's the baby due? Her due date is the 20th. That means she could realistically be coming at any point now. My first two children were both came 14 days before their due date, which would be today. Oh, gotta do this. Okay, so if we hit a Creeping Chill and some creatures, we can maybe kill them here. Come on, hit me, dealer. Yeah, Yahtzee! Yahtzee! You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. Ugh, this deck's sweet. This deck is sweet. The menace from Call the Death Dweller there coming in super clutch. Yeah, Fiend, this deck, like, this is definitely the sweetest Fiend Artisan deck we've played. That was a craft this deck immediately type line. I agree. Mire Triton seems not stellar here. I think I'm going to trim a couple of those. And then probably some Creeping Chill. I know Creeping Chill was okay there, but like the need to race is going to be less post-board because we're bringing in interaction. See, I think that's my go-to trim. Is Historic the format where there are playable Grixis decks? It seems so, Pentreon. It seems so. I like when we have a deck of the day contender early on. Easy deck of the day contender. You've smashed. The Winota is unbeatable, and the companion change makes them a playable fun one deck. It's good efficiency. We like to be efficient around here. All right. Whale poop. Mill them. Maybe, remember, they're still a reanimator deck. They are still a reanimator deck, so milling them's a little scary. Oh no, we milled the Soul Guide Lantern, chat. Oh no. They're coming for our memes, chat. They're coming for our memes. All right, no unburial rates yet. They could have it in their hand, I suppose, too, though. Be kind of surprised if Quarian Dryad's a playable Magic card. Remember that Brazen Borrower is still going to be legal even after Teferi rotates. You know, I wonder if... maybe we should put, like, maybe we should put, like, some kind of sweet fatty to search up in our sideboard with Fiend Artisan against Leyline. What would that even look like? I guess we have to bring in Ratchet Bomb, huh, to deal with Leyline? How castable is Phyrexian Obliterator? 12, 15, 17. Getting like Phyrexian Obliterator is probably not unrealistic. So I'm going to trim 2 of the Secret Keepers and leave the Remorses in. Oh, you have to give up Lurrus for that? Yeah, that's true. Alright, no Leyline this time. Easy been there. What's going on, Moldylocks? I'm so glad Wizards of the Coast decided we were allowed to play Magic again. That's nice. Take their way to get things into the graveyard efficiently here. Still. I think we've died, chat. The Charta course into Ulamog was kind of the perfects off the top. I guess maybe they could brick on lands here. Maybe. I gotta ditch that. I'm just gonna need to hope they brick on a land and then try to find a lantern here. Dead to untapped land. Yeah, good game. Rough. Do 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 do. A number of people that want Winota banned are making a mathematically unsound argument based on the fact that it had a good win rate in the first Hoaglandia Open that was effectively a week 1 tournament where very few people that did well had a lot of efficient removal. And that's not even to mention the fact that not even to mention the fact that, like, the sample size wasn't that large. It will not, Goldilocks. Hoaglandia Open was very high stakes. Yeah, there's that too, right? Like, it was also, like, a community-focused event that wasn't, like, super high stakes. Statistics don't lie, but people make bad arguments on the back of statistics all the time. It's basically like the TLDR. Is this the same person we just played against, or is this a different Esper Reanimator deck? I would love a 4th land. It's unfortunate that it's not a second red source here, but that lets me, if they don't kill Lazav, next turn I get to go play Kroxa, copy Kroxa attack. Thanks, Whitstone. Yeah, this is, I think this is very likely to be the summer of Historic and Runeterra on the channel. Likely more Historic than anything, but I don't envision us playing much Magic Online or Standard. Well, Kroxa just let them put an Ulamog in the bin, so probably dead. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year, Larknose. I appreciate that. Welcome back. New black instant, destroy target creature or planeswalker with CMC 3 or less. Sure. A lot of reanimating things, interesting trend. Nothing really says peak Twitch chat like talking about how a 200-person tournament isn't meaningful statistical data, and then them trying to talk about playing 2 of your 6 matches being a trend. Can you get some help, Twitch chat? Get some help. Kroxa, unfortunately, being a little awkward there, enabling their thing, but I didn't really have a better line. We'll bring in Soul Guide Lantern, Agonizing Remorse here again. While seeing more removal spells that target planeswalkers is almost certainly a small positive, I also think it's important to stay grounded and understand why cards like Teferi and Narset are so good. And that's to say that even if you have this removal spell that can kill Narset and Teferi, both of those planeswalkers draw cards when they come into play. So, like, being able to kill those things after they've drawn a card still means you get 2 for 1. One of the things I've suggested on a number of occasions is that one of the 1,000 different ways they could have made Teferi more reasonable is that Teferi should have started on 3 loyalty, so you had to pick between drawing a card and keeping your planeswalker. And again, there's like 800 different ways they could have balanced those cards properly, and that's certainly one of them. I don't think that card's playable in Historic Dwells as long as Winota is a deck. I think you'd much rather have your 2-mana removal be able to kill Winota. I think that's pretty important. If they have land Winota here, we are dead. That is accurate. We played 2 games against Winota and 2 Reanimator and 5 matches. Clearly, they make up 80% of the format. Yeah, obviously. Big agree. Bring in our caps and our remorses. Yes, fine. Savaril, thank you for the 22 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. One thing, Arena got white with bannings is the refunding of wild cards. I'd actually argue they could stand to go further in some ways. Like, I think giving people a few extra wild cards to make up for collateral damage that bans produce is probably very reasonable. I don't expect them to refund entire decks, but like, you know, something a little bit extra would be ideal / preferred. They refund wild cards, the cards banned in Historic, only if you've never been refunded for that in another format. So, like, for example, if they do eventually ban Agent and Fires in Historic, they're only suspended currently. Those cards will not give you extra wild cards again. I mean, just to flex a little bit, if you're short on rare wild cards, you're not a whale in Magic Arena. Full stop. Just so you understand where you fall in the aquatic ecosystem. If you find yourself short rare wild cards, you are not a Magic Arena whale. The new companion mechanic is not instant speed. It's okay to not be a whale, chat. It's okay. For those of you that are whales, though. Why, hello there. Maybe I'm supposed to Kroxa there before I Lurrus, just to clean their hand out. I don't know, putting blockers into play felt appealing. That's actually really good here. Okay, and they're dead. I appreciate you, opponent. They were dead before we hit this because I had a Kroxa in my hand as well. My friend. I just checked my rare wildcards chat. I think I'm a rail. Yep. I mean, we have a game 3 here. Our last match in this matchup went to game 3 as well. So like we're 3-2 in games played in this matchup. So far we've won all of the post-board games though. So we'll see if that trend continues here. How many rare wildcards do I have at the moment? I don't recall. I think it was two sets ago for Ikoria, I actually crafted every rare in the set before I opened any booster packs. So that way I could get a 20 gem refund on all of the packs that had rares in them. Because I just had hundreds of rare wildcards that I would never get to use otherwise. Hashtag whale problems. To be fair, Beansy, raid is like a whole different level of whaling. The amount of money that makes you a Magic Arena whale, like, makes you like a dolphin in raid at best. The people that whale in mobile gacha games just like on a whole different plane. That is the actual best draw in our deck. So we get to go Kroxa, hit you, and then copy Kroxa, attack, hit you. Yes, correct. Whaling, being a whale on Magic Arena is cheaper than just playing paper Magic normally. I currently have 90 rare wild cards for reference. For people that wanted to ask, and again, just 2 sets ago, I had so many rare wild cards, I literally crafted every rare in the set so I could get some gem refunds while opening packs for Mythics. Nice patience there. They certainly would have picked Lazav if you had removed the War Boss before the enchantment. Yeah, I agree. The sequencing on my removal was important. And again, like, the really kind of highlighting how mulliganing appropriately and having good interaction in your deck post-board in the Winota match makes it very reasonable. We beat Winota twice. We lost both pre-board games. We won all 4 post-board games. Efficient removal. Like, this is easily the single best card in that matchup in this format. Things like Agonizing Remorse, Noxious Grasp, Heartless Act, all of these efficient 1 and 2 mana pieces of removal are fantastic. as far as this deck goes, I actually really liked it. It was a lot of fun. It felt like it had a lot of play in a lot of different places. It definitely has a lot of really neat and tricky lines. A question I'm sure people are going to have is, was Lurrus worth it post-nerf? I think so. I think even with needing to pay extra mana, Lurrus is still super reasonable in this deck. The card that sucks the most to play against is Leyline of the Void. We just don't have great answers to that. I guess you could play... Libation? Yeah, Libation, not Tribute. You could play some Farika's Libation. I hedged Ratchet Bomb because I was expecting more Grafdigger's Cages than Leylines, but if you're expecting Leylines, like, this card in general is kind of just absurd against the Reanimator decks we played against twice, because this does deal with Ulamog as well if they don't have Leyline. So, like, maybe rather than Soul Guide Lanterns or Cratermakers, you'd like some Libations. Again, it kind of depends on where the format ends up at. As of right now, things are definitely going to be in flux post Agent and Fire's ban, so I don't know that Ulamog Reanimator is necessarily something you need to be prepared for, but if you feel that you do need to be prepared for it, this is a good tool for that. I'm a paper whale because I foiled my Legacy Death and Taxes to show people I could afford Underground Seas and Volks, but chose not to. Great. All right, so we got plenty of more Historic coming up yet today, assuming Christy doesn't go into labor anytime soon. I'm going to go ahead and hit a quick ad roll while I get set up and flipped over for the next one. When we get back, we are going to play some Esper Humans. Be back in just a few. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere.